fuego, dog.
Wednesday night, and the mood is right. Gonna have some fun, show you how it's done. TGIW. So glad you're doing more shows on here. A lot of us listeners are in Facebook jail. Well, I wish I could say that's one of the reasons why I'm doing it, Doug. It's not, but if that's a happy byproduct, then it's a happy byproduct. All right, welcome in, everybody. Do me a favor. First of all, hit the like button. Second of all, if one of you could please go post the link to this video in the super secret supporter chat, I would be at your mercy. That's what I'm looking for. I would be in your debt. That's what I meant to say. I got to start taking some of that. What's that Joe Rogan mind drug that he takes? Like mind nerve agent. I got to get some of that stuff. I've noticed I've been my slacking on my uptake when it comes to being able to find the proper word usage. Anyway, welcome in, friendos. It is Solid Dudes. I have some time to kill tonight. You see, the title of the episode is the Emergency Cookie Party episode. And the reason for that is, that's right, Gouda Chris here with you now, ladies and gentlemen. Alpha Brain. Someone could send me a bottle of Alpha Brain. I would greatly appreciate it. I think the time has come. Tonight is the night of the big Monk Man fucking cookie party. So Alpha Brain works like a mofo. Well, I need it. Mentally, I'm slacking on my pimping. Turn it up. See, the money ain't a thing. I'm Gouda Chris. Bunk's having his Christmas cookie party tonight, and Ant-Man was invited, and my wife was invited, and I was not invited. So, not that I would have gone anyway. I would not have. I love Monk, but that sounds like torture. Sitting around making cookies while all the shrieking happens. But they all drove out there to fucking throw down. And I said, well, I can either watch In the Line of Fire, which I was about to, or I can go down and I can fucking get a show in and panhandle for some super chats. So I chose the latter. So that's what we'll be doing for as long as you guys want to do it. If it's a bust, I'll peace out and I'll see you Friday. If it isn't, then we can chill and we can see what comes of it. Alpha Brain. I've already had progress made because now I know the product that I need to help with my stupidity. Oh boy. I love that movie too, Kevin Keegan. In the Line of Fire, there is a scene, if you guys haven't seen In the Line of Fire, with Clint Eastwood and John Malkovich, and Frasier's dad is actually in the movie as well, Marty Crane. There is a scene where John Malkovich accidentally gives away that he's not from Minneapolis. Of course, he plays a guy that wants to assassinate the president, and he breaks these two women's necks so fucking brutally. And you're just sitting here like, there is no way in 2023 you would be allowed to show this, even though it is a make-believe fictitious movie. They just would never allow it. It is a fucking brutal scene, and it really sets the stage for what a piece of shit John Malkovich is in that movie. But what a fucking performance. That's kind of one of the ones that put him on the map. I think that was before Cyrus the Damn Virus too, before Con Air. How many ovens is Monk going to be baking all these? I don't know, Pat. I have no fucking idea how many ovens Monk owns, but I would guess it's more than one. All right, everybody, let's get the chat where it needs to be. If you would like, please hit the like button. That always helps us get into the algorithms. And then if you would like to send a super chat, all it takes is 2 simoleons. You can get on the screen with whatever your comment may be. I'm getting pictures now from, let me take a look. Getting pictures from the cookie off. Oh, Matt Burke is over there. Jesus Christ. I do like these people, but I don't know why it just seems like fucking hell on earth. Hell on earth to go to a cookie party. And I guess the gimmick is everybody sits around making their own cookies, and then at the end of the night, you judge the cookies. I mean, I guess that doesn't sound terrible, but I don't know. I know they're drinking wine and everyone's flushed in the face. I know it. I know that's what's going on. Money so you can purchase fresh ingredients to make handmade cookies and not store-bought cookies. Bro, as soon as I heard that Monk was laying down the law and that everybody was getting lectured if they brought store-bought cookies, I knew that shit was not for me. I knew this was not an event that required Shude's presence. Chihuahua. I fucking bought them out of that peppermint Smirnoff. Bought every single bottle they had at the ABC store. Thank you, Corey Rita, for our lone super chat of the evening. I do appreciate you, as always, for always being so supportive. Thank you, brother, and thank you for being here. So I posted a video last night. I don't know how many of you are aware of this or remember this. I would say it was a bit, only it wasn't really a bit because it culminated in actual genitalia grabbing. And that is there was a fight. I think it was a Tyson Fury fighting Deontay Wilder is what I think the fight was. And Tyson Fury cut this promo where he was claiming that he was going to put his weight on Deontay Wilder, that he was going to back him down, that he was going to walk him down, and that he was going to knock him out. And he said these catchphrases and key phrases over and over again. And our very own Ant-Man decided that he was going to incorporate this into, I guess, some sort of feud that he wanted to start with one drab t-shirt. And the way this went down is that for weeks, Anthony would call drab t-shirt and he would leave him voicemails saying things like, Drab, I'm going to back you down. I'm going to put my weight on you. And then I'm going to jack you off. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. I'm going to jack you off and you can't stop me. I don't know why it culminated in him masturbating drab t-shirt, but that's what happened. And this bit went on for weeks and weeks and weeks. And dozens and dozens of voicemails were left. I think most of you are aware of this. Bit. I don't know if there was ever any public payoff to this. There was a payoff in a series of photographs, which I'm going to show you in just a moment. Lori Wagner, thank you so much for 999 super chat. I like your idea of throwing a sleeve of Oreos at Monk. Well, I just think that I would be tempted if somebody told me that if I go and I buy cookie dough at the store to bake my own cookies, that somehow that is an unforgivable offense in their cookie contest. I think I would be motivated to try to fucking take a giant sack of Famous Amos and whomp them over the head with it. Mollywop them over the head with a sack of Famous Amos. I don't know that I would do it. I think I would just be motivated to do it. Hence the grab the sleeve of Oreos and then just hurl them into his face. I can't make my own dough. Okay, here are your fucking cookies. And then I stomp down to the bar and I drink all of his E.H. Taylor. That's kind of the way that I wanted to do it. But unfortunately, that's not the way my wife operates. She'd rather have a panic attack and fucking drive all over Virginia trying to find vanilla paste extract to make her fucking cookie dough that Monkman was threatening her about. So anyway, yeah, that was kind of where I was coming from, Lori. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. This was last night at the studio. Bear with me here. I don't exactly remember what it said, but this is Ant-Man calling Drab T-shirt because for those of you that don't know, Drabby's going to be at our live event at the Tally Ho Theater at the end of January, the live Friday Night Hootenanny. If you'd like to come out, you can get tickets now, tallyhotheater.com. This is the voicemail that Ant-Man left Drabby, and I think if you look to the upper left, you can see me in the screen laughing. But also, I think you can tell Anthony is a little rusty at doing this bit.
He does love Ant-Man. He might pick up.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. It's only 9.
No, he didn't want to talk to you.
Hey.
There are so many shrieking women in that house.
There are so many. Every time I talk to Drab, it sounds like there is a coven of witches getting burned. Every single time I talk to him, it sounds like someone has set fire to a coven of witches. It sounds like what Salem must have sounded like during the Crucible. Arthur Miller was inspired by Drab T-shirts lifestyle to write his famous book. When is Coach Gruden getting on the show? I still got a book, Coach Gruden on the show, Jake. I am going to work on that. I didn't realize he had his own podcast, but we're going to get that done. But here's Ant-Man attempting the first voicemail last night.
You got the mother-in-law. You got the...
Please leave your message for
No chance.
Matt Cahill.
Hey, Drab, it's your old pal Ant-Man here.
I don't know if you see the closed captioning at the bottom. Let me take this beautiful super chat from Lori down. I believe it says, "Hey, Drabby, Gerald Pallet Man here." You guys know old Jared Pallet Man, don't you?
Rumor has it you're going to be out at the Tally Ho on January 26th.
But get your tickets now.
And I am going to put my weight on you. I'm going to lean on you. I'm going to back you up. And I'm going to fucking jack you off. And there ain't nothing you can do about it, Drabby. I'm going to jack you off right there on stage in front of everybody. Can't wait for the 26th.
All right, so that was the first attempt at it. And it's, you know, it's not bad. You can clearly tell he's still got the chops to do it. But I have seen Ant-Man give better attempts at this, and because of that, we wanted to do a second go of it. Now keep in mind, it's 9:00 at night, so it's not like it was a shoo-in the Drabby was asleep. He probably wanted to be asleep, but I'm guessing the army of hens at his house is not going to let that happen. Andy and Petra Schroeder, 1999. Thank you so much for the super chat. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for slumming it with us. If you're wondering why the viewer numbers are down, first of all, my viewer numbers are never great, but we're not on Facebook tonight. I decided to just go YouTube. Just go with all my beautiful YouTube people. Spend some time with you guys today. Also, I'm going to be putting this up tomorrow at 2:00 because I've got to open Commonwealth Dry Goods, and I'm not going to be able to record an episode before that. So I'm going to give you guys a fresh episode if you're a subscriber on Friday. So we will contractually obligate everything, and there'll still be some entertainment for you at 2. So fret not. All right, this is Ant-Man's second attempt at leaving Drabber a voicemail and confirming what he is indeed going to try to do to him at the Tally Ho Theater on the 26th.
Quit ducking my calls.
I know you're ducking my calls.
You used to say you're ducking my calls. Yeah.
I'm gonna lean on you.
That's my impression of Ant-Man.
please leave your message for
I wish his phone number was here.
Yeah.
480-524.
Drabby, when I fucking call, you answer. I know you're going to be out there on January 26th at the Tally Ho, and I'm going to fucking lean on you, and I'm going to back you down, and I'm going to jack you off, and you can't do shit about it. I'm going to be jacking you off in front of everybody. Now answer the phone.
All right. So that's a little bit better. You've got some. Let me try to play it again because I might not have. I don't know if I don't have the video actually up, if you guys can hear it.
Remember to tell me he's gonna love it.
It's my bad.
Quit ducking my calls.
I know you're ducking my calls.
Maybe I should leave the voicemail, honestly.
Lean on you.
please leave your message for
Drabby panically looking up who.
Drabby, when I fucking call, you answer. I know you're going to be out there on January 26th at the Tally Ho, and I'm going to fucking lean on you, and I'm going to back you down, and I'm going to jack you off, and you can't do shit about it. I'm going to be jacking you off in front of everybody. Now answer the phone.
See, the problem with that tactic is the reason why you say answer the phone, for those of you that are my age, thank you again, Andy and Petra Schoner, for the beautiful super chat, is the answering machine would be going off inside the house and people would be hearing what you were saying if they were sitting there and screening the phone call. Anthony is talking into a cellular telephone, and his voice is just a series of zeros and ones being recorded on somebody else's cellular telephone. So him screaming, answer the phone, really doesn't forward his cause whatsoever. What is miraculous about it, though, and what nobody could have predicted, is that Drab would ultimately answer the phone and prove to be actually more disgusting than anybody else that was involved in these prank calls that evening. So I didn't see it coming. None of us that were there that night saw it coming, but unfortunately I posted it in the comments section here, so I'll have to play it off of this.
Why would you think I'm going to jack you off? I mean,
What happens if I put my weight on you and I jack you off? What are you gonna do?
you're not going to do shit because I weigh 300 pounds and you're a little fucking small, scrawny guy. And I'm going to fucking jack you off first because.
I got a big hand and it's gonna find your tiny dick.
Well, I got fucking tiny hands and it's going to find your big dick. And I'm going to
Oh
jack
my
you off.
God. Hey, Drab, I'll tell you what he's going to do if you jack him off. He's going to come.
Yeah, I probably will. I'll probably come tonight just thinking about it.
All over my fingers.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Got a little out of control. I'll be the first to admit it got a little out of control. What's up, Headlock? I'm hardly the hardest working man. My wife is baking cookies with a bunch of drunk people, so I decided to jump on here and hang out. Oh, I'm getting lots of pictures. Lots of people are sending me pictures from the Cookie Fest. All types of fucking Cookie Fest pictures coming through on the dinghy. So I brought that up because I wanted to show you guys that while I don't think there was ever a payoff at the live events, there was ultimately a payoff with the greatest series of photos in the history of mankind. And I think some of you have probably seen these, but not everybody has. And this is a good environment to make sure that publicly these get the type of recognition that they deserve. This is the first photo. And as you can tell, this is in the very late stages of the Big O and Duke's empire's downfall. This is the death rattle. It was late enough where we are still at the Fortress of Solid Dudes. And as you can see, it is the 2 banner era where we had updated the step and repeats to those black and neon ones that are sitting right there. So this is probably just mere months before the fall of Babylon. This is the first in the series. Now, from what I recall, Ant-Man was threatening to grab Drab's junk, and they were playing some sort of penis chicken here, where they were going back and forth saying, you won't do it. It isn't going to happen. I know you're faking. And so Ant-Man is walking towards Drab, about 100 pounds lighter than he is now, no beard, and a pedo face. And Drab is unbuckling his belt because I don't believe he thinks Ant-Man's going to do it. Now, please take a look at the shit-eating grin on Drab T-shirt's face as this continues. Oh, what happened? I'm in all types of technical difficulties tonight. Here's picture number 2 in the series. So we've gone from here to now he is leaning back and presenting his genitalia. Now, you guys all think that I make it up, but take a look at Ant-Man's chin. I told you it juts out. It juts out violently whenever he's intense about something. You've got a Bill Cowher chin scenario right here where it very, very easily could trip over this chin and fall into the sidelines. Drabby is, again, grinning like a fucking madman, Mac Tonight grin, and then also presenting his pants while unzipping his fly. This is where things start to get real. I know the movie The Iron Claw is coming out very soon. And that, to me, is a very close relative to the Iron Claw. We call that the swollen pink mangler. That is what I call Ant-Man's fist, the swollen pink mangler. If you take a look at it, it's got the pinkish hue. Of course, we know that it's numb and that it shakes. Yeah, Ant-Man's coming at you chin first. Absolutely. So now we have an escalation in hostilities. The hand is coming down. Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty where we've got 2 hands involved. Drab has got 2 fingers down the front of his skin-tight, acid-washed, dungarees, and the culmination of this penis chicken that they're playing is about to pay off with the final. And by the way, look at that weird cutout Drab has of his face behind him there. I'm trying to remember what that was from, but it's very terrifying. There is the payoff. So for those of you that think that this is all talk and bravado, from my guy Ant-Man, the Kalachi, the fluffy sopapilla, it is not. He is willing to do exactly what he says he's going to do, and that involves backing this man down, putting his weight on him. You know the rest. I don't need to say it again because it's inappropriate for family audiences. And there you have it. The greatest sequence of 4 photos in the history of the internet, in my opinion. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a flip book right there. That's a flip book. If anybody had the wherewithal to get that in, that is a flip book. So a lot happens after the show goes off the air. It's not like after we stop doing the show, the creating stops. That's not it at all. Oftentimes we get a lot of topicality that can be very useful moving forward, like grabbing each other's private parts and genitals. So yeah, whether or not that follows through and we have more to that at the Tally Ho Theater, who's to say? I'm not sure. But if it does happen, don't say you weren't warned. The other thing that I had here that I wanted to discuss with you guys, and I will, I'm going to need some audience participation in the chat for this because I feel like a lot of times in this world of ours, even with all this communication we have and how we're all kind of tied together, you can feel kind of alone. One of the ways that I feel alone is I don't hate Taylor Swift, but I would just rather never hear her name ever again. Like I'd rather just I could go the rest of my life without hearing Taylor Swift's name and be very happy. And when 100% of humanity is completely obsessed with everything that she does, you just kind of sit there and you're like, what am I missing here? Is there something wrong with me? Am I just being a negative person? Am I you can kind of feel alone in that. When everyone decided at the same time, we all love sriracha now more than every other hot sauce, and there are no other hot sauces, and we're going to wear rooster sauce shirts around. I'm going to bring my own sriracha with me to all you plebeian American restaurants. Feel kind of alone. I'm like, what did I miss? Sriracha's okay. There's 10 other hot sauces I like more. And furthermore, why did you all decide you like it at the same time? It's not like it hasn't been around for a while. The groupthink kind of leaves me in the dust every once in a while. So you can feel like I must have missed out on something. I forgot to ask how the Trisha Yearwood Christmas in a Jug was. Now, that's a trend that I wish people would fucking catch on with, Corey Rita. Thank you for the super chat. If the new sriracha could be the Trisha Yearwood Christmas in a Jug, that would be tremendous. And just so you know, Corey, yours is going to be used on Christmas Day here at the at Oakton Falls. The Christmas in a Jug that we drank at the what was it? At the Holiday Hootenanny. I believe your guy Orgy Beard brought a giant flagon of that shit. So I actually was able to keep yours for here with me now, gentlemen. It is upstairs technically in this house. So I'm excited. I think that I had it with bourbon, with rum, and with there it is right there, in case you were interested. What else? Vodka we mixed it with. It is very, very tangy. Now, this is Christmas in a pitcher. They also have Christmas in a Jug, which I believe is a smaller version of this. Available at Williams-Sonoma, no free plugs. But yeah, fantastic. Much better than sriracha, if I don't mind, if I may be so bold. Great Xmas pictures. Well, you know, Kevin, I'm all about spreading the Christmas spirit, and if that means that Ant-Man's got to grab some genitals to make sure that takes place, then we will make that happen. Drab is an ecstasy. Thank you, Matthew Helm, for the super chat. Yes, there is no fucking debating whether or not T-shirt enjoyed that. I mean, you can say what you want and he can say what he wants, but I don't think there's a person on the planet that would be able to go before a jury of their peers and say that this man is not howling in ecstasy, grinning like a Cheshire cat, smiling like Doug Jones, portraying Mac tonight. I think we'd all agree. I think we could all go up before St. Peter and say, I need to be let into heaven because I've never told a lie. Drab T-shirt enjoyed being jerked off by Ant-Man. And that would be true. So anyway, feeling alone. It just happens from time to time. It's not the end of the world. I'm still into what I'm into. Not everybody else has to be. It's fun when you meet people that have shared interests, similar interests, but you don't have to do it. The reason why I bring that up is because there were definitely word usage trends when I was younger, when I was in high school. I remember not being a big thing. I'm going to eat a Caesar salad tonight instead of a sloppy Joe. Not. I still cringe. I still cringe at that, knowing that I said that a lot. The bomb and all the different variations of it. That shit was the bomb diggity. I know I said that at some point in my life. And I rue the day. I really do. It's embarrassing. So young people saying dumb shit is nothing new. So when I hear young people say cap and no cap constantly, or bruh every 3 seconds, it's like, okay, you sound stupid, but I sounded stupid when I was their age too. It's just an age to be stupid. What is new is now old people, I think, are so desperate to sound like young people that they buy into the shit on social media. And there's a step further where it's not even a young person thing anymore. It has nothing to do with youth. The example I'll give is sorry, not sorry. That doesn't mean anything. It means nothing. And yet dumb people use it 5 billion times a day as a way, it is almost as punctuation. I always give the classic example of just saying. I'm not saying that we should burn down that guy's house, but he is a terrible guy, and I've got this tank of gasoline and this batches over here. Hashtag just saying. Well, I know you're just saying. You just said it, you dumb shit. That's a really good example. But I've kind of learned to roll with the punches because it's just this massive group speak mind virus that we've all signed up for. And it's something you just can't let eat you alive. But every once in a while, I have weak spots. And I have places where I succumb to my cynicism. And one of the biggest ones as of late has been this one. And I put this Facebook status up yesterday. So very tired of I did a thing. I did a thing. Now, all of the people that say I did a thing usually are posting something that is fairly run of the mill. They buy a new SUV. They get a new pair of shoes. Sometimes it's, hey, we just got married, so we did a thing. I don't, it's stupid and it's childish and everyone does it. And for some reason yesterday, I did a thing really struck a chord with me. And I saw it probably 5 or 6 times. And it's never, I joined Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, or I just became a volunteer fire person, or I dragged a mother and child out of a burning car. It's never I did a thing like, you know, ironically, it makes sense that you're speaking this way. It's always some dumb shit. And when I posted that, I got a lot of feedback from people about other phrases that they have grown weary of. And we've assembled a nice list on that page. I want to go through some of them, but let me I see that Headlock seems to be, I think Headlock is a low-key fucking Ant-Man fan. I really do. He's always singing the cat's praises. I'm just now putting that together. Ant-Man looking kind of buff in that pic. Really? Let's go to the videotape. You think he's looking buff in that picture? Well, he is. I would say at least 60 pounds lighter. He's at least 60 pounds lighter. So maybe that has something to do with it, but I don't know if buff would be the way. I'm not trying to be but I don't know if that's the way I would describe him, Headlock. But thank you for the support, brother. Welcome to America's newest pastime, penis chicken. Jeff, I think we could get, I mean, if, what is that, Power Slap? You guys know I'm a Dana White fan, but it's not like Power Slap is the most highbrow of entertainment. If we can get Power Slap on TV, why can't we get Penis Chicken on TV? Where we get Ant-Man with his magenta manglers, and then we get Drab up there unbuttoning his pants, and then we do a half an hour show on whether or not he's going to beat him off. I was today years old when I go nuts when I hear that. That is a very good one. That's a very good one, Corey. See that one a lot. There's also a subset of that where people will post something that clearly is new information, and they'll say, where were you the first time you learned that the little plastic thing in the middle of the pizza was made for? And then, of course, everyone comments the same thing. I didn't know that until you just posted it. Well, yes, of course, that was the mechanism they used to gain shock and interaction in the comments, and you fucking fell for it. There's a lot of spinoffs of that, but I was today years old is an awful one. It really is bad. And I clearly didn't think of all of them when I posted I did a thing, but I wanted to go through a couple of these and share them with you. The second one here by Benjamin Lane is one of the banes of my existence. Somebody will post, need a good brunch spot in my neighborhood, and go. And I'm like, bitch, are you for real? Who do you think you're crowdsourcing from? And go. Because we're all sitting here reluctantly crouched at the starting line, engines pumping and thumping in time, waiting for your dumb ass to decide you don't want to use Google. Waiting for your dumb ass so that we can be at your beck and call. We could be your Wadsworth. We could be your Jeffrey from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Drives me fucking nuts. I'm not sitting around on Facebook waiting for you to crowdsource me into figuring out where you're going to go get scramby eggs and Bellinis. Fuck off. Another big one. Whelp. Where did that come from? That's not a word. Nobody says whelp. A whelp is like a little shitty kid. Is that not what a whelp is? I'll punish you, you insolent whelp. Somewhere along the line, we've decided that misspelling and mispronouncing words is what we want. And I don't know where that happened. And I don't know when that started. But I think it started somewhere around the internet. Ant-Man's going to do a thing to Drab on the 26th. Well, that's probably the one place where you can use that term appropriately, Matthew Helm. Because I think Ant-Man is going to do a thing to Drab T-shirt. And that thing is backing him down, putting his weight on him, walking him down, and then jacking him off. And there's nothing Drab can do to stop it. There's nothing he can do to stop it. I think that's the one spot where maybe you get a pass for using that. Post that end with that's it. That's the post. That is such a good example, Headlock, because it's so sanctimonious. All of these are sanctimonious. All of these are people that are posting so they're not intelligent. And no one's coming up with their own shtick. They're reposting a meme or a viral video and fucking trying to put a little bit louder for those in the back. It's the same 8 comments. You're retweeting something and then adding a tip in that you didn't come up with either. I think it goes hand in hand. How many people that are doing what I'm doing, like you can say what you want about what I'm doing right now. It's not entertaining. There's not a lot of people watching, whatever it is, but it's still me coming up with my own thoughts and my own opinions and then bouncing them back and forth. It's in essence talk radio. It's not doing a review of somebody else's video, you know, or somebody else did this. Let me make a reaction video of my big fat face sitting side by side on Instagram, and then I'll figure out a way to piggyback off of the success of somebody that actually went viral for doing something. Reaction videos are the lowest state of anything. And every time I see it's the same as when people will post on the internet, who did this? And then it's a Photoshop or a meme or something that somebody else created. You're writing who did this as a way of stealing that item, passing it off as your own, and then erroneously claiming that you're trying to figure out who's responsible for. It's all bullshit. I don't know who needs to hear this. That's another thing, Corey. That one's bad because that's like your Dr. Fraser Crane. I don't know who needs to hear this. Whatever you're about to say, bitch, is not going to bring me out of my depression. It's not going to make me losing a loved one any better. It's not going to make me watching the borders become ruptured and permeated. Whatever you're upset about, Disney movies, Amazon crushed your package. I don't know who needs to hear this. You're not making me feel better unless you're sending me some cash in my Venmo. If you want to put some cash in my Venmo, I will feel better. I don't know who needs to hear this. It's the zhing sound when you get cash in your Venmo. Yeah, louder for the people in the back. It's all pompous. It's all pompous. I think is the theme that we're talking about here. All right, what else? Oh, Mike Pritchard had a really good one. How about just gonna leave this here? Right, because you're throwing a fucking pipe bomb into a paper factory. I'm just going to go ahead and leave this here and then step back and watch everybody freak out with what I produced. I guess what the question I would have is, did this happen before social media? Did anyone have these catchphrases in real life? And do we ever hear anybody use these in real life? You couldn't say, I'm just going to leave this here in real life, because what are you leaving there? A nice bundt cake? I'm just going to leave this here. It's a warm coffee cake. That would be fantastic. Who wouldn't want that? I'm just going to leave this here. The same meme you've already seen 10 times. There's people. Another thing that, let me see if I can find it. I don't want to just sit here and be irritated tonight. That's not why I came on here. But so this happens to me, I'd say 3 or 4 times a week. I don't know who Duke Cannon is, but whoever Duke Cannon is, I'd like to fucking zip tie his thumbs together, put a taser into the small of his back, and then lock him up in solitary confinement for about at least 5 to 6 days, if not a full week. For whatever reason, I think because my name is Chad Dukes, people a lot of times think that my name is Duke, and it is not. So I've been getting tagged Duke's Mayonnaise shit my entire career, even though Duke's Mayonnaise is D-U-K-E apostrophe S. It's Duke. Are you named after the Dukes of Hazzard? No, because it's Bo and Luke Duke. It's plural. It's Bo Duke, Luke Duke, Jesse Duke, Daisy Duke, Coy Duke, and Vance Duke. They're Dukes because there's more than one of them. These are from the same buffoons, I would assume, that say Nordstrom's, Blockbusters, Potbellies. Go down the fucking list. Go down the list. Throwing an S on the name of a business title is the mark of the rube. And I think that's why everybody does it. I get this one constantly, and it drives me batty, if I may use some harsh language. People post this soap, and I'll never forget it. I was looking in the Facebook page, and someone said, "I'm just going to leave this here." And they posted the Bush Beer mountain-sized soap. Like any dude over the age of 21 would find this interesting. I don't know who buys this shit. First of all, I don't want to smell like beer. Second of all, who the fuck uses a bar of soap in 2023? Nothing like going and picking up a bar of soap and seeing a big old pube sitting on top of it, or an eyelash, or whatever. Nobody uses bars of soap anymore. And if they do, this is bought for a gag gift, for nothing else. Dukes likes to drink soap, and this is by Duke Cannon. I shouldn't be mad about this. Nobody means this is a hostile act, but the combination of I'm just going to leave this here and then dropping the pearl of wisdom of the Bush mountain-sized beer soap. Honestly, who the shit still uses a bar of soap outside of a hotel room? Does anybody? I don't even steal them anymore. I used to steal the hotel soaps like everybody else, but now it's like, I don't want to have a little bar of soap at the house. So it leaves that weird soap gunk on the fucking page, on the sink, on the vanity top. I've never seen a bar of soap that doesn't have at least one pubic hair on it. I don't want that. I want to take it into the grundle, into the asshole, into the ball bag, into the undercarriage. Is there any worse real estate, gentlemen? My boys of larger carriage. The crease in between the thigh and the ball bag. I know a lot of people spend a lot of time talking about the taint in the chode and the grundle, and they should. That ain't prime real estate. But that skin down, bad times at the El Royale. Bad times. And then you got to get out, and you got to figure out a way to shoot that gold bond up your asshole. That's the tough part. So you ladies, I don't know if you have an equivalent of gold bond up the asshole. I never heard of any of this before social media, knowing people have too large of a platform right now. Well, yeah, and like also the bar's been set real low. Like stupid people are easily entertained. So stupid people that are entertaining other stupid people can find massive audiences. This isn't highbrow. But, you know, should Superhuman have 12 million followers? I don't know. If people like it, isn't that all that matters? I do think social media, and you know, you guys have always heard me say this. I don't know if it's turned us horrific or if it just exposed that all of us were always horrific. If this was a way to like squeegee off the windshield of humanity's soul and we're just lowbrow, awful, trolling, anonymous, biting, cruel dickheads. I went and I don't even want to go through it. Like I could pull it up here real easy. Jim Norton is a comedian that I've always admired. I think he's one of the funnier guys on the planet. And he married a transgender person. And I'm kind of confused by it too, because part of me thinks it's a bit, because it just came out of nowhere and all of a sudden they have a YouTube channel. So there's stuff about it that I have questions about. But if you click on the fucking comments and you read what people are saying, it's just like, did the internet create these golems, or did it just give them a way to act in their true nature? I think these people were always golems. They just weren't able to impose their fucking schmiegelness on people. And now they can. I started going through some of those comments and I'm like, why is it fucking worth it? I know I have a thin skin, but Jesus Christ, why would it be worth subjecting yourself to this type of scrutiny? Andy and Petra, this is incredibly generous. Most of these are uncreative ways to make a statement from a perspective no one should really care about. At least Paul Harvey had a point behind the rest of the story. Yeah, this isn't a catchphrase. Like, people have catchphrases that they developed if they are, how to bully pulpit. But I do think you're right about that, Andy. I think that what it tries to add a level of false gravitas to an otherwise lifted or benign statement, something that you've either stolen or something that is not nearly as poignant as you think that it is. Everybody is so goddamn over dramatic. They're just so overly emotional, and emotional porn is the term that I always use about how people kind of conduct themselves nowadays. You certainly see it in commercials. Have you guys seen? There are truck commercials now. Adam Carolla went on a Jag where he was talking about, and it's a very, very memorable truck commercial where there's a woman returning from being in the military. It is a diverse woman, of course, because those are the only people they depict when it goes to the military in commercials. And she's flying home, and the family drives the family truck out to a field under where the plane is going to pass, and they have Christmas lights in the back. And I think they spell out "Welcome Home." And there's this Enya music playing, and there's all this fucking emotional baggage that comes along with it. And Carolla was like, what happened to telling us how much torque this truck is going to produce? What happened to being able to know if I can haul my boat out up onto the jetty? Because my truck's going to be able to handle it. I can drop this bad boy from 2-wheel drive into 4-wheel drive with a twist of a knob. It's emotional pornography. There's one out now where the mom gives the camera to the daughter, and the daughter goes driving around in her truck taking pictures of shit that her mom took pictures of shit of when she was young. And then at the end of the fucking commercial, they give her a photo album, and they all have a good cry. The mom and the daughter have a good cry. And I'm watching this, and I'm like, thank you, Andy and Petra. I'm like, who is this for? And who buys pickup trucks? There are certainly women that buy pickup trucks and like pickup trucks, no doubt. But the jag I went on about the superhero movies was the same. If you look at the breakdowns of the demographics that went to see the Marvels, it was overwhelmingly male. Men are the ones that go see superhero movies, by and large. And yet they've been going out of their way to shit on dudes, replace dudes, and try to turn the whole thing into a more feminine property, when from a marketing standpoint, that doesn't make a lot of sense, because you know who's actually paying for your products. Pickup trucks is even more confusing, because it's a lot of guys built like me, during it up, fucking with a tin of Copenhagen. That's who's usually in the market for an $80,000 pickup truck. And yet, if you watch commercials for pickup trucks, it is stunning how few of them are catered towards that particular demographic. I don't know what you get out of that. Maybe their thought is, we already have all these ders. Let's try to incorporate a new demographic into our customer base. I don't know. Hearing George Carlin's perspective and thoughts would be entertaining. Well, I would say, Joel, that George Carlin's thoughts and perspectives on anything would be fairly entertaining. Certainly. I mean, make a list. Let's make a list right now. Who do we wish was still around that could comment on how fucking crazy the world is right now? Patrice O'Neal immediately comes to mind. Carlin certainly is on that list. I think you could probably safely put Richard Pryor on that list. Problem is, there's still Eddie Murphy's around. I mean, there's still a bunch of guys around that were around in that era that don't seem to have much to say. I think when change happens like this, maybe you get swept up in it. I mean, if you just think about who was the champion of censorship of language during when Janet Jackson, that whole fiasco at the Super Bowl happened, that was all the Republicans, right? It was all Dick Cheney, it was all George Bush. That was their bag. This puritanical, we got to watch out for the kid. Well, get to 2023, and who is the one? I mean, who's looking to send? I mean, it's things have flipped completely on their axis in this country 2 or 3 times since then. So I think that if it's happening over the course of the years, it just becomes normal. And maybe the people that we think are iconoclasts that would tear down this system or at least offer flaming commentary look no further than Howard Stern. Like, as much as I look up to that dude's career and have listened to him my entire life, politically and morally and ethically, he's about in a 180 different degree position than he was 10 years ago. Go back and listen to his shows in 2008, 12 years ago, whatever it is, 15 years ago. I mean, that's not that long. I don't know. If Patrice O'Neal was still alive, would he have 6 Netflix specials now and not want to go out there and stick his head out and fucking risk alienating his audience? I don't know. I don't think so. But I don't know for sure. I'm just going to leave this here, shoot, but I wanted to let you know I did a thing. I'm just saying. I think you got most of them, Enoch. I think you got most of them, brother. Thank you very much, Enoch. That is very, very generous. Super chat's a little bit slower whenever Jester is not puking and throwing up and beating his chest and the titties. I lifted the titties up when that stuff's not happening. So really appreciate everybody that's being so generous tonight. Very, very kind. Thank you, Enoch. Bernie Mac would be good to hear. Yeah, Bernie Mac was the shit. And he was the vulgar. I, like many God-fearing red-blooded Americans, got introduced to Bernie Mac through the movie Friday. Miss Parker, I gotta talk to you for a second, Miss Parker. Lord have mercy. The Lord is my shepherd. He know what I want. Excuse me, brothers. Let me get a little bit from my cataracts. You didn't put in on this, man. Look, she bending over. Lord have mercy. Go back and watch that scene. I think he says, Lord. Lord have mercy. The Lord of my shepherd, he know what I want. Thank you, Enoch. I dare you to find a horsepower number on Ford's website right now. I just tried. Really? Ford trucks. Let's take a look. Anybody want to take a look? It's in a book. Reading Rainbow. Butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high. Take a look. It's in a book. All right, the Ford family of trucks. Outboard power stroke. 16 speakers. Crossing my back dash, a little bobbing dog watching everybody bash. Okay, the all-new Ford Ranger. EcoBoost V6. Enhanced chassis. There's a Ranger Raptor? Sounds pretty dope. I'm not seeing any horsepower on any of this. You are right about that. Let's take a look at the Ford Lightning. Oh, this is a stupid question. Do electric cars have horsepower? It's a dumb question, right? There's the Ford Maverick. That's definitely for chicks. Super Duty pickup, as shown price. Let's take a look. Features. Would it be under features? Towing and hauling, big truck, huge power. That's got to be it, right? Power stroke, 40,000 pounds, turbo diesel, conventional, Super Duty. Where the fuck is the horsepower? There's a horse in this picture. There is a horse in this picture. Bro, you ain't lying. What the fuck? You can't find horsepower. Matthew Helm, you're right. Is there no more horsepower? Fuck. Sam Kennison, that's a good one, Chip. Only 1.21 gigawatts. Is it gigawatts or gigawatts? Matthew Helm, that is some amazing erudition, my friend. You are not lying. Make that go viral. There is no horsepower available if you want to learn. So how do you know how do you know how powerful your engine is if that is the case? I guess you fucking don't. Oh well. All right. Last thing I tried to find today was, I don't know how many of you guys are in the stream earlier, but I've been trying to find a template for a comic book because we want to do a comic book based on the story I told on the Chad Duke show this Tuesday about myself, Rob Halford, and Jesus deciding to bushwhack and dry gulch a UFO. And so since we had that conversation today, I've been going around doing some research, did a bit of a fact-finding mission. And it is very, very difficult to find online a linear path of the best way to write a comic book, because it's not like writing anything else. You've got the art, and you've got the narrative, and you've got the speech bubbles, and you've also got the positioning of the text. It is way muddied. The waters around it are muddied. It almost feels like it's done on purpose. It almost feels like there's some gatekeeping going on with the industry itself, where perhaps they don't want to let people easily have access to the best way to go about it. I don't know if there's like community college classes that help with that sort of thing, but I asked some people that write for a living. I asked, there's one person I know that's actually getting into the comic book industry, and he's had the same problems that I've had, where it's like there is no one way to go about doing it. Because if you think about it, it's difficult to write in that format than it would be even to write a script for a movie or a play, with stage directions and that extra component too, other than just writing a book. So it certainly seems to be like it's going to be more of an undertaking than I thought. But the part that really kind of jumped out at me is that there is, it almost feels intentional, to be honest with you. EVs have HP numbers, but the Ford website you have to dig. And I drove Ford's. Embarrassing. Yeah, I drive a Ford F-150, and I guess, is it in my manual? If I go out there and look in the manual, is it going to tell me how much horsepower I have? Or are they keeping that away from something? Red Fox would be a good one, Saul. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Matthew Helm, for being so generous tonight. Ooh, Andy and Petra again, 1999. Will there be a Jimmy at Home edition of Solid Dudes on Friday? Yeah, I got to do it. That's the only way I can get people to watch, is if Jimmy's here drinking. If it's just me doing the show, there isn't nearly the intrigue for the audience. So yes, Friday night. If you are in here now, I can officially say Jim Daddy will be back at home with his parents. The only place where I know he, well, you know how it is. Ant-Man has already said that he's down. A monk is very difficult to predict these days, but we will have 4 people. We'll have 4 people, and Jim will be doing the bit where he's drinking the beers and drinking the sipping cream. And of course, the one I really want to promote is that New Year's Eve show that we have planned for you guys, because New Year's Eve is the worst holiday on the planet. And I think we all know that. That's going to be super fucking special. So if you're like me and you hate New Year's Eve and you don't like to get driven into by drunk drivers and get in a tuxedo and go hang out in a hotel and all the dumb shit that people do on New Year's Eve, you'll want to be parked on your fanny, if I may hazard some spicy language, in front of YouTube, because we're going to be doing a show then too. All right. Thank you, Andy and Petra. You are Mensch, and of course, Enoch and Corey and everybody that was Matthew Helm, everybody that was so generous tonight. Very, very appreciated. All right, friendos, quick scheduling update. A brand new episode of the Chad Duke Show will go up on Friday at 2. The store is crushed. I need to be there to help tomorrow, so I'm not going to be able to get an episode up before 2 on Thursday. So this will go up as well as the episode I did earlier, just so you can have something to listen to in the meantime, and you will get a fresh episode on Friday at 2 p.m. All right? Thank you again to all of our super chatters. Really appreciate you guys. Hope you have a beautiful night. Go watch In the Line of Fire. That's what I'm about to do. And if the good Lord is willing, the creeks don't rise. Let it rip until tomorrow at 2 p.m., friendos. Roll out the trash can.
Got this beat from DJ Grimy, and you know it's Fuego, dog.